believe in a race, he told the group that he has his baby monitor feed on his fourth monitor to keep an eye on his kids while he's racing, which is genius.
Bro.
Genius.
Bro, some of us are playing checkers, others are playing chess. That is next level.
Yeah.
That is next level.
He's watching his son or his daughter, forget, sleeping in the bed, and it's like, yo, you look up. All you gotta do is look up. This episode is brought to you by Trophy AI, the ultimate performance coach tool for sim racers. Hello and welcome to the Chicane Podcast, where we discuss all things in the sim racing world. I'm your host, Jason Rivera, and I'm joined here by Mr. Jeff Smart. How's everyone doing? How's you doing, bud?
Jason, awesome, dude. I'm having a good time. Everybody can see I'm not my usual location, which we'll get into here shortly, but
On the distant
it's good,
end.
man. Yeah, it's good. Had a great Thanksgiving. Spent some time with the family.
Ooh, Thanksgiving with the family is very different. It's a very different Thanksgiving. So yeah, that sounds great, dude.
How was your Thanksgiving? You sent me a bunch of pictures of killer food.
I got some leftovers, bro. When you get back,
I just crushed my seventh plate of leftovers before
we're
coming down here.
I can't do this, man. The older we get, the harder it gets every year. It's like, how much freaking turkey can I possibly consume? And then the gravy runs out. That was the final showstopper. I was like, damn it, there's no more gravy. It's kind of hard to eat turkey left over. It's not the same when it comes out the oven. But I'm glad you had a great Thanksgiving. Shout out to all of you and across the globe that celebrate this holiday. Shout out to everybody. And which this episode is going to be a rather short episode. Jeff's still on travel, moving and spending time with his family is what he's doing. And me, on the other hand, I'm just working on all kinds of stuff in the background. And we're just going to get on and talk some sim racing and not leave you in the dust here. And yeah, I just, again, I hope everyone had a excellent holiday. And back to the gym, bro. Back to the gym we all go. So,
dude, that's no truer
Gospel.
words. Maybe we'll get an early start on that. That crap that everybody does. The gym's always packed on the first work day, basically after New Year's. Get an early jump on that.
Oh yeah, bro. Even if some people always come up with an excuse, right, to not go, and I'm like, dude, even if you're broken, you can still sit in a sauna and sweat it out for 30 minutes. You know what I mean? You can still hang out in the pool, in a jacuzzi, do something to get you out the house. That's how I feel. And I need to get back to that. So tomorrow, I keep saying tomorrow, but tomorrow I will be headed back there, full game, full everything turned on. And I'm excited to do so. And it's going to suck, but it must be done. So yeah, so we'll get right into announcements here. Last week we spoke about the 24-hour event that went down.
Bro, how'd it go?
And it went down. So, well, here's the thing. I'll give you the quick synopsis of our results, and then I'll break into it. We ended P5, started P8, ended P5. It's our best result ever in an endurance race. And we were one of the top splits there. So really proud of that. I'm extremely proud of the SRC team. You know who you are. And Jeff, we're going to get you there soon enough. Just, Jeff is kind of in between worlds right now, and that's okay.
Neither here nor there.
Yeah, and flight simming, he's into the flight thing. He's got all kinds of gadgets you've been sending me. And to me, that's honestly a lot of us sim racers go through that. Is because you have a rig and because you have a PC and because you have all this power, you're like, well, what else can I do with it? And that is completely, totally natural thing to do. Some people get into truck driving. Some people get into cutting grass, and farm sim. So that's 100% normal, bro. So sim racing, as long as you don't forget about it,
dude.
it'll always be there for you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's by far like it's still head and shoulders the passion. To kind of like to what you said is like, oh, I have this powerful PC, and a rig. I can do flight sim, with just some buying some basic equipment. That's real. But I've texted you a bunch, saying, hey, like, yeah, I've been flying, but because I brought my flight sim up here, I'll leave it here, so at least I'll have something to do on the move. But until my racing gets here, my racing setup. But that's still 100% the passion
Yeah.
is the
No,
racing. Yeah.
honestly, bro, and Jeff and I are ex-military now. Oh, that's a proud one to say for both of us. Um, and we kind of share the same passions, right? Most of us love freaking jets. We love things that fly in the air and break the sound of speed. It's just something incredible, something that you need to see for your own eyes. But let me get back to the debrief. So we had
Let's go. Yeah. Yeah.
we had a P5 finish, and at the time that we got P5, I wasn't necessarily happy that we got P5. So let me explain why that was a thing. And something happened during that race that was incredible. And I have a picture here to show you. But we'll get to that. So, anyways, we're practicing for the race. We're doing 2-hour practices every other day, which is a
Jeez,
lot of driving. Yeah.
that's commitment.
Yes, we wanted to do well in Daytona. We were worried about Daytona because Daytona is dangerous, right? Daytona on the oval with hypercars, LMDHs, flying by you at some stupid speeds is a lot of stress to do that 24 hours to run those laps. I don't know what it's like 700 laps. It's something stupid around Daytona. Um, so we're practicing, we're doing everything, and I'm really proud of the team. A lot of the like I want to say 100% of the team were on the same kind of pace, with some caveats here and there. Um, which if you watch the live stream, you'll see me getting on this case, and he knows who he is. But regardless of that, a lot of us had the potential to win. A lot of us had matching lap times with our fastest driver, which is a big thing. It's a big thing because he has the higher I rating than us, and it usually bumps us into higher splits, which makes it difficult for us to win, right? Because imagine you're a 2K driver and everyone else is a 6K driver. How do you compete against that? 5K driver, 7K, whatever. It's kind of like, damn. So it's kind of like I need to keep up with these guys, but it honestly is a healthy thing. I think we don't just want to win just to say we won. We want to win that hard for battle, or for the greater victorious glory, if you may. Um, so we started the race, qualified P8. It was a very short quali, but we managed to qualify P8 out of 24 drivers in our split. So
Solid.
then, yeah, it was a solid start. So we qualified P8, and then our top driver, John, he, I think he's able to gain 2 spots on his stint. He gained 2 spots, so that put us into P6. I took the car, gained a spot to P5, um, and then P4, was it? Yeah, no, it was. I was chasing down P4, literally in sights of P4, and I took a curb, and the car bounced the way it usually bounces, and it bounced again. And we watched the replay like maybe 100 times, and it just threw the car sideways. It spun out of control.
Oh,
It was at a high speed corner, so I think I spun like 3 times. I didn't know where the car was. It was kind of scary, dude. It was like almost like my heart rate was up. This is a simulator, but the car literally spun 3 times. Hit the grass, spun, and I didn't know where the car was going to end up. Ended up in the middle of the track, and another car hit the car. So, which is my responsibility, right? I messed up that corner. So then, this is our third Endurance 24 event, officially. And I had 5 minutes worth of repair damage when I drove it back into the pits. And I said, no, we will not sit here in the pits and we're gonna drive this car. We're gonna fill it up with gas because I literally had like one lap left for a full tank of gas anyway. So my hope was the damage wasn't so bad. So pulled it into the pits, put the gas in her, and I saw the clock, and it was 5 minutes. So for the next 12 hours, 12 hours, we drove this car as a team damaged. And every time we went into the pits, that damage was getting fixed little by little. And the team was awesome because the team would switch the camera and we would literally see the bumpers being pulled out. And yeah, it was dope. The bumpers
That's
were coming
wild.
out. Yeah, you go back and you see it, dude. And little by little, little by little, little by little. And by the time all the drivers went through a full rotation, when we gave back the car to our star driver, our fastest driver, it was a brand new car. It was a
That's
brand new.
wild.
It was a brand new car, and we went up to. We had a few incidents in between. We had some people get pushed and knocked, and but still, we went up to P9, then back down to P7, then went up to P9, then back down to P7. When we gave the car to our top driver, he took it from P7 to P2. No,
Damn.
he took it. I got the car handed to me at P7. I took it down to P5. And then from P5, John took it from P4, P3, P2. And
He had
then,
that moment like in F1 when Sonny Hayes gets in the GT, the Porsche
dude,
at Daytona. That's
it
what
was
you guys
crazy.
did.
It was
Love
crazy
it.
because everybody was excited. It was like, yo, we're back in the race on the same lap. We didn't lose time, even though the car was significantly slower and it had some steering. But dude, I was just like, I didn't want to hear it. I was like, just drive the damn car. Don't worry about a millimeter worth off of steering. Just drive the car, stay in the draft as hard as you can. Because if you're not in the draft, you're dead in these kind of races. The same with Monza. Daytona is the same situation. The If you're not in draft, you're a dead stick, bro, on track. If everyone else is on draft, you're never gonna catch them. It's impossible. So anyway, so the we get to P2 and P1 is like 60 seconds away from us. And John is pushing and pushing and push every lap, push like quali laps, like that kind of pushing.
Dang. Okay.
Like literally taking the tire and just scraping the living shit out of every single corner, like breaking the limits of the. I don't know. He was just really going for it because he got excited. He's like, "Yo, we got 10 hours to go, and we're P2." Um, so I think he got his time down to 40 seconds away from P1, and then the car, we was able to lap P2. Like we did a whole lap around him after we passed him. That's how crazy it was.
Wow.
So then it was my turn to drive, and it was late at night, and I did a half a stint so that way I can do the half stint, restart the stream because YouTube limits me to 12 hours of stream, so I have to time it right so I can sleep at night. Yeah,
Just that small
it's a
little
whole
detail.
ordeal, dude. It's a whole ordeal, this thing. So then so yeah, sorry. So then P2, yeah, I took the car, held the P2 down solid for my stint for my I think was it a double stint? No, I think it was a single stint. I think I held it down and I gave the car to another teammate, and the other teammate had an incident and damaged the car, and I went to bed. I was really upset because we worked so hard, but it's not his fault entirely. It's not his fault. It's just things that happen, right? So I woke up next morning and um, I think I woke up an hour before and we crossed the line at P5. So the thing that hurts me was that we had P2. We were in P2 with a brand new car. For 12 hours, we drove a damaged car. And not only that, I have a picture to show you guys on not only did we drive this car damaged, one of our drivers during his last 3 laps was pushing the car faster than we've ever seen him push any car. And he did some training. He did some one-on-one training with our top driver um, and his microphone, his headset, the battery ran out, and we were worried because we seen him following cars and doing some crazy maneuvers, and we're like, "Yo, you're gonna crash, dude! Chill." We were saying, "Chill." The new team slogan now is "Push but chill." Thanks, John. That came out from him. And look how he raced with no headset for the last 3 laps around Daytona, doing record times for him. I gotta share this. This blew our fucking mind. This is how he raced. What do you see here, Jeff?
Did so he obviously has to know that that he's got a problem, right? It does. He can just look down and see that, hey, my gas pedal gone. Like,
Yeah.
gas pedal has left the chat.
So the gas pedal, he installed these rumble brake, and I guess they were rumbling the shit out of the pedal. These are a very nice set of pedals. These are the only pneumatic sets that exist in sim racing, which is dope. These are the SRP, so they're air, they're pneumatic. These were, if I didn't get the Heisen belts when I started sim racing like premium, this would have been what I have here today. But imagine racing with your gas pedal literally below your foot. Your foot goes here. Without a headset, he can't hear us. He needs to pull into the pits and turn the car over to somebody. He didn't hear any of that shit.
So he just randomly goes into the pits and hopes that you guys are
he did
somebody
his
there?
stint. He did his stint passing people and doing insane lap times without a gas pedal, basically.
That's wild.
Without a faceplate.
So now we got to do like system checks on your PC, but now you have to do like, make sure
screw checks, bro. I told them get some freaking Loctite or something. So
cotter pinned, safety pinned, and everything, like in the actual race car.
So this is when it was kind of the turning point. It's like the car's damaged, and we have 22, I don't know how many hours, 20 hours to go when this happened. The amount of motivation that came from the team was incredible. So I just, big shout out to Big Dave. This is Dave's Pedals. You met Dave at the expo, Jeff.
Oh, I know Dave. Proud of you, buddy.
This is Dave's setup, and
good for you.
He was pushing. He was out there pushing, and he sent this to us right after he got out the car. He literally plugged his headset in. He's like, "Dude, you don't know what happened to me. You don't understand. Like, I got to take a picture of this."
And I can bet one thing for sure, Dave, that will never happen to you again.
No.
I can bet for sure.
No. I told him, get some Loctite, dude, or something. Get a screw behind it and secure it. But
something, yeah.
You'd never guess, right? That something like that can happen. But after we crossed and finished P5, and I had time to really gather my thoughts, I'm like, P5 is a great fucking finish. Honestly. P5 is an excellent finish. You get a taste of that podium. And when you lose it, it's kind of like, oh, we could have been P2. Could have been. So I could say this, that we held P2. Our number one driver was the fastest driver on track. Like, hands down, out of the GT3s, he was the fastest one. And we are going to do it again. So Spa 24 Hours is happening, Nick, this weekend. So, guys, stay tuned for that one if you guys want to tune in. Thank you so much for all the people that did tune in. You know who you are. So
here's a quick story, Jason, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
So I jumped in a couple times to the stream. And one time I was like, boys, where we at? How we doing? And it was awkward. I could tell something had happened and nobody wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I was like that meme from The Simpsons, the guy comes out of the bushes, and then I was like, oh geez, I'm gonna just gently go back
Just gonna
into
let
the
it go.
bushes
Just
and,
let it be.
and exit the
Well,
chat and let it go. And then I jumped in a couple hours later, and you guys were back to the the racing that we know you guys can do. So
no,
good
I
news,
mean,
good deal,
Jeff,
dude. It sounds like a heck of a story, and it
uh,
just gives you, like you said, that little bit of
it's just like
breadcrumb
friends.
of
Okay,
like
listen.
we're
Do
good. Like we can be really good if we, if a
we
little
can
bit more
disagree on
practice.
something all day, bro, but if we don't,
Absolutely,
we can disagree on something on anything. We can disagree on F1 and go back and forth, but at the end of the day, we're passionate, and that's where this is coming from. The whole point of being upset or being mad or just pissed off is because we want to win. We're not here just to pretend. You know what I'm saying? Like,
100%.
yeah, we're here to survive the race, yes. But I think we're a little past that, right? I think that we had pace to win. You know what I mean? To be on the podium, to win that podium, you know, it would have been my honor to come on here and say, "Yo, we got P2 or P1." You know, that would be a massive achievement for the team. So, yeah, I mean, some people get upset and sometimes we go a little overboard, right? For especially me, I took it to heart and I was really tired. It was 1 o'clock in the morning when I went to sleep, and I was like, woke up the next day and I was like, you know what? P5 is a great finish. Let's just say that because we started P8, we gained 3 spots, we survived the race. What else? What?
Overcame some adversity.
Yeah, and I screwed up in the beginning. Imagine if I didn't screw up that car in the beginning. Where would we? We would probably be P1. Who knows? Because it started with me losing the car anyway. And that's how I looked at it. I was like, the guys drove the car damaged, and yes, we had a perfectly fine vehicle, and it had 2 incidents in 1 lap. Yes, that pissed me off because we worked so hard, right? But again, it's racing. It's the magic of this hobby, right? It's being afraid when you first get into the car. That was me. My stomach was going crazy before getting into the car, and as soon as I'm in the car, I'm okay. I don't care. As soon as I do an outlap, my first outlap is usually the worst, bro. It's like braking early, or it depends. If there's cars really close by, then I wouldn't risk that. But you're a little safe going
That
out there in the first 2 laps, slightly safe, but you still have to be aware of your surroundings too. That's all I will say about it. But
Well, I'm excited
overall, yeah,
excited to see what you guys have got in for Spa. It seems like you guys got a solid team. Everybody's
yeah,
got good pace.
yeah.
Um, just kind of need to
I hope to see you one
string
there, man.
a
One day, with us,
yeah.
man, because
I do.
we're
Same here.
we would love to have, like, we're struggling right now for teammates, right? So, and that was another thing that was kind of bothering me is people canceling at the last minute. Some things, there's a lot of things that led up to that point where I just kind of got upset. But sim racing should be the priority here, nothing else. If you build a simulator, if you build a rig, that rig is built for racing. You know what I mean? And that's all I'm going to say about that. It's same thing. You built the flight sim, Jeff. You built the racing. You're going to race and fly on both of them respectively. And you did it in a way where one doesn't interfere with the other. That's why you have a second rig, um, that we didn't know about, by the way.
Still don't have what, but
Jeff,
it will eventually be
Jeff
there.
did some shopping once again. He's on a shopping spree, and that's good for him. That's very. I'm super happy for you, bro. That's awesome. You you've come a long way. Let's just say. Well, you could shop on your own. You didn't even text me or nothing. You went and you bought it, and I was like, yeah, that's a good deal. You know what I mean? You you graduated from telling me what's good and what's not good, and you're actually able to tell people what's good and what's not good. You know the difference. That's 100%, Jeff. His PC, you bought it yourself, you built it yourself, you hooked it up yourself, you did a benchmark. I didn't get a single phone call, guys. You know,
You're right. You didn't. That's
did I
wild.
not? I
You
didn't get a
didn't.
single phone call. All I got was, yo, this shit is dope. This shit handles. That's all I got. All I
Uh,
got was I'm throwing everything I can at it, and the PC is like nothing. That 5090 is taking everything you throwing at it, and is like, yeah, whatever. It's gone. This is nothing, which is
we'll s-
awesome, right?
yeah, we'll see when all the the sim stuff gets my sim race the racing stuff gets here, and
Yeah.
we're integrating it into the rig and all the accessories that go with it, and I'm sure there'll be some hiccups and stuff along the way, but that's as I've learned, that's part of you know what you
Sometimes it's
have to
not the
deal with.
hardware, right? Sometimes it's the software that doesn't act right. I have a nice 4090 series card, and iRacing is one of the toughest sims to play with it. I can throw any other sim at it, and it get like double the frame rate of the frames I'm getting. You know what I mean? That's because iRacing is an old sim. It's unoptimized. It really is. It's very CPU heavy. Um, so your CPU upgrade is quite significant from what you had. I think that is the biggest upgrade because you had a 4070 Ti. That's not a bad video card. The 5090 is going to help you with the back end, with the the VR stuff that you wanted to do. Um, the 4070 Ti is up for sale, by the way, if anybody's
Definitely.
interested.
Yeah,
That whole rig is up for sale and it's in great, excellent condition. And I think it's still under warranty too. Everything's still under warranty. Um, we used NZXT, so you have a 2-year warranty with that. I think, I'm pretty sure everything's still up to par. And manufacturer parts, they're all brand new parts in there. So
yeah, it's a solid
lightly,
PC, absolutely
yeah,
solid PC.
yeah. So that concludes the 24 event for the Daytona race. Again, overall, a big shout out to the team. I'm very happy and proud of them. Um, and I'm excited for the next one, man. And I'm excited maybe one day to have you on the team, Jeff, so you can get out there and do your stint, man, and experience something like that because it is freaking. It's very different than watching it. I'll tell you now. There's a lot of motions going on and people getting tired and people waking up and jumping in different
Crouching and
hours.
stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit. It's a lot of stuff going on. So we are about 89% sure at a time of this recording that we are doing this event because again the holidays are here and a lot of people are busy with family, so we're trying to see if we can make this race work. But yeah, that's kind of a very extremely long announcement from me. I'm sorry about that.
This is a good
Um,
debrief. Yeah, it's
that
cool. I'm sure everybody will love hearing this, but
the story,
yeah,
yeah, the story's there, and on the live stream, I mean that's 24 hours. You can kind of skim through, but um, you can see what happened to Dave on his first stint. I think Dave was the driver after me, so you could kind of time it that way. It's all on YouTube. The full 24 is there, so if you guys have a lot of free time to watch a 20 by all means like and subscribe. So over to you, man, for announcements, man. I know you're in the middle of a move, so I'll let you get into it, bro.
yeah. I am. My time in Hawaii has come to an end. Me and the family are moving back to the East Coast for a whole bunch of reasons that don't need to get into here. But it's kind of led to kind of I guess an upgrade. Is all my stuff has to get put on a boat and shipped across the Pacific Ocean, then put on a trailer and drove across the country to the East Coast. And after doing some talking with Jason and some other people, PC sitting on a boat for 30 days is not ideal. And as well, with that was lining up with some Black Friday deals with the Micro Center. I did end up pulling the trigger on a new PC, which we've talked about a bunch here,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll probably maybe do a deeper dive some other episode. But I
Yeah,
did pick
man.
it up, so it is here. I do have some flight sim stuff. I've been working with it here, and slowly, you guys will start to see, the studio take place. A couple between here and a couple back in Hawaii as I do the transition back and forth. But I am super excited to kind of get the dust settled from the move and kind of
Yeah, man.
uh, just it's kind of purgatory right now, right? I'm still technically live in Hawaii, but I don't live in like we're traveling back there, um, in the next 24, 48 hours just to kind of finish packing up, and then in like 35 days we're moving back to the East Coast for good. So it's just kind of purgatory right now, and I won't get my sim racing gear, for probably till maybe mid-February. So it's kind of works out that I have the PC here. Um, I will go back to Hawaii and put the other one up for sale. But I do have my flight sim stuff here, so that will be able to keep me busy. At least scratch that itch, if you will, until my stuff gets delivered from Hawaii. So that's kind of what I got going on right now here. So I apologize you don't have the
No, Jeff,
semi
you're in the middle of a
polished
move,
background,
bro.
but
You're all good to go, bro.
you guys will get to see the transition as
We got some, we
kind
got
of
some, we got some flexing in the back. I see a little new things happening back there,
yeah, try to
which I
make some moves.
appreciate. You
Try to
know,
make some moves.
I like
So
it though. Um, Listen, guys, if I'm being serious, if you guys are willing to pay the shipping, which surprisingly is not that bad, you'll get a killer deal. So if you're interested in Jeff's PC secondhand, we'll even put some Chicane podcast stickers all over it. Uh, Let us know. Send us an email at the chicane podcast at gmail.com, and we'll talk about a decent price for you. We'll
yeah,
just we'll let Jeff decide. It's his hardware, but I guarantee you it's good stuff. If you're trying to save a penny, if you're looking for a decent PC, it's a hell of a build. It will handle pretty much anything you throw at it. Um,
triples 1440, no problem with
yep,
pretty
it's
much
had
all of
triples
the
already. Yes, 100%.
all of the heart, all of the the sims out there.
So if you're interested in the specs, send us an email. We'll send that to you, and we'll send you a price. And depending on where it's going, then yeah, we'll talk about shipping costs if Jeff feels like he wants to move in that fashion. So
Yeah. It
that
is pretty cool though that
yeah,
iRacing headquarters is like legitimately right down the road.
I know we need to
It's
do,
cool. It's super cool. I'll have to go like take a
bro.
walk over there
You
and
got
just take a
drones,
selfie.
bro.
What's
You
that?
got drones, bro. Why don't you fly your drone over the headquarters
You
to
think
see if we
like
can
so
see some top secret shit
you
going
think
on
it's
in there?
super cool, and I've driven past it before. Previously times I've been
As I just blurted
back
it
here.
out here, Nem Cross watches and like, yo,
Yeah,
watch out for a fucking drone registered to Jeff Smart,
dude. It
aka
doesn't.
Chick Hain.
It's like it's in an industrial park in a building they share, the building with like three other companies. And if it wasn't for some little sign that said iRacing, you wouldn't know what it is.
I would
So
love for you to tour the facility and do it. Let's do a special or something. I'm pretty sure Nim. Uh, this message goes directly to you. You have a new neighbor now, bro. So
yeah,
we're gonna have to
so
recall a favor that you kind of threw out there for us. So that would be awesome to have you go in there and do a special. Yeah, and if
see
I
a little
can,
bit
I'll
behind the
fly out
court.
there or something.
Yeah,
But if
we can crash here for a couple days, sure.
that would be awesome. See, get some good food because yeah, there's some good food out there on the East Coast.
Food's totally different, man. We went to like me and my wife and one of our friends, him and his wife went to a seafood joint, and I was like, this isn't seafood. This ain't no seafood. It was like, I don't want to insult anybody, but it is what
It
it is.
depends, right? Hawaii
It
has
was just different seafood, right? It just was like haddock versus mahi mahi,
yeah,
and
but come on, bro. Well, like
clams and
East Coast,
steamers and
you got Italian food. You got
the
like
Italian food.
I know you got some Italian food out there. You got some maybe some cheesesteaks over there. I know you get
Good-
striped bass over there, which is
Yeah, some
the dish.
stripers. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
like one thing in Hawaii doesn't have is a good sandwich joint. Like you can't just walk in and get an Italian
No,
sandwich
it doesn't.
anywhere.
No.
So I've had my fair share of Italian subs and cold cut sandwiches and stuff like that because you just can't get that in Hawaii. But
Mm-hmm.
there ain't no poke bowls over here, buddy.
There's pros and cons to everything.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
There's differences, and my infatuation with Japan, which I will be there very soon. Again, I would love to live there, but then I also think, I'm also a proud American. I love this country. I love that, we serve this country. Huge. I don't know. It's very different to live somewhere, you know what I mean, than to visit somewhere. And I always tell people that when they come to Hawaii, they're like, I just want to move here. And I'm like,
It's
it's a
different.
very, very different to live
It's a
here.
learning curve of having as we usually say, there's a lot of cost to live in paradise.
Want to have a live coach available on demand? With Trophy AI, you'll be able to practice with Mansell AI at your convenience. A real-time coach in your headphones to navigate and guide you through the track, helping you achieve race pace. This tool is awesome as it provides full brake, throttle, and steering telemetry on screen with the live review getting you ready for your next big race. Check links to Trophy AI in the description and also use Chicane12 in all caps for a 12% discount. Yes, there is a price for paradise, and there's a price for everything. There's a price for everything. Sim racing has a big cost, but the amount of fun you get out of it is crazy. But then so is the price. It can be crazy. So
speaking of price, we got any
any
cyber deals coming on, being that this is going to be released on Cyber Monday?
Yeah, so this
what a transition.
Yeah, it's great transition. Excellent. So main discussion, it was going to be a very short one, guys, because again, I don't want to take too much time from Jeff. This one was kind of last minute, and I apologize to him many times before we hit record. But I'll just go a quick rundown on what I've found so far, and hopefully by the time you watch this, if you can get a chance to get your hands on it. So, Fanatec, I'll just go over it real quick. The CSL DD, the 5 Newton is going for $379.99. These are all US prices. The 8 Newton for $479.99. And the Gran Turismo DD Pro is on. Well, it doesn't give me a price. So let's move on to Moza. Moza Black Friday 2025 promo is up to 29% off selected racing and flight gear. So check out Moza. GT Omega rigs, which the problem with GT Omega rigs, last time I checked, they don't ship to the US. So if you guys can get it, they have 15% off on some of their stuff.
Really? Did not know that.
The best deal right now, in my opinion, forget about Track Racer. First of all, I'll reserve my comment. Forget about Track Racer. Forget about you already know. Forget about Track Racer. Forget about GT Omega. Forget about ASR. Listen, SimLab is in the United States of America. It has distribution here. They are having an 11% discount on everything. And these rigs are rock solid. I own one. Jeff owns 2 of them now.
And if I could add a little bit, is Micro Center has $50 off the Evo. And you don't have to pay, if you live by one, you don't have to pay shipping. So I
just go and pick it up.
I had a moment of weakness over there, and unfortunately now I have another one.
You got another one. That's great. But yeah, the GT Evo is an excellent choice. It's hard to call it budget because the price is kind of on the budget side, but then it's a solid piece of kit.
80/20 rig.
Yes, 80/20. It's thick. It's motion ready. You know what I mean? There's rigs that are not can't take the motion, and the Evo is perfectly fine. And I will say this: another person, shout out to Daniel Newman Racing, DNR has a SimLab rig. SimLab. So they also partnered with Mercedes. So Mercedes is the official Petronas, official partnership with SimLab. What else? Amazon in general. I mean, Amazon has crazy freaking deals. I would be on there like a hawk, especially if you're looking for Moza gear. If you're looking for Moza gear, Amazon, you can't beat them. Amazon is better than Moza while they're selling you Moza gear. Because Amazon will give you a no question, no nothing. You didn't like it, return it. Here's the shipping label, return it back to me. It weighs 1,500 pounds, huh? Don't worry about it, man. We'll pay for that shipping. You don't have to deal with this back and forth with manufacturers and saying you got to explain to them, and then they have to have a reason. They got to approve it. Amazon is a gift from God, bro. Gift from God. And if you don't have Amazon Prime, it's all right. You know what I mean? It's all right. You pay for the shipping, but it still comes with their return policy. You may have to ship it back. So that's what I mean. Most of us, Americans at least, we got a Prime membership. Listen, if you have a wife, you better make sure you have a Prime membership. You know
And
what
if
I
she
mean?
doesn't know about Prime, good for you.
Good for
Lucky
you.
you.
Lucky you. Because guess what?
Mine
It
keeps single-handedly keeps Amazon in business.
I can't damn. She's a factor in their what is it? In their stock
The cost
numbers.
estimate,
They
yeah. I
have
mean,
the
it's just
stock
as,
freaking meetings about Jeff's wife and how much
yeah,
she
yeah.
spent this
Like package comes,
year.
toothpaste. The package comes, shampoo. Yeah, she's like, my God. Then she's like, well, think about it. If you go to every time you go to the store to get something, I just don't go to the store. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
sold. I
Amazon is
got it.
great too,
Fair
especially
enough.
for pets too. They straight up killed the the pet food thing market. It's gone, bro. You got that subscribe and the food, the same food that you like for your dog, animal, or cat, whatever, it'll be there on the date. You know what I'm saying? It'll show up again and again. And I do that with my shaving stuff, even though I didn't shave because I just been a rebel lately. And I know Jeff has been a rebel too. Look at him, just just growing it out. It's the holidays. Who cares? But yeah, just keep an eye on Amazon, and that's really all I have this
I
year.
got one more.
Yeah,
One
go
more.
ahead. What you got?
If you're looking for a gift here, a stocking stuffer, go get yourself some Chicane podcast merch. You can get the link just below the video. Good
Yeah,
quality
man.
stuff.
Thank you. Appreciate it. That'll support the show. But it's mostly, honestly, the profit gain. It's all for you. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
try to keep those prices as low as I possibly can, just to keep the store going and pay for distribution. That way, it ships out to you immediately. It's not like you have to wait on me or Jeff to ship it out. So I appreciate that, Jeff. Thank you. Um, Maybe next year we'll have a Black Friday sale if the
Yeah.
numbers grow a little bit. I have to
Yeah. Hey,
mention
listen.
that.
As you can tell, we do this for passion, not for the dollar. So
This is true. We're here for the passion. This is true. Even though, um, yeah, our passion is our hobby, right? And that's where the podcast falls in the middle of it. It's kind of like giving you a snapshot of our lives within the hobby. Um, but again, I'll say it one more time. The most important thing is to do what you love, bro. Don't do it for anything else. Do what you love. If you're not having fun, then you need to stop doing what you're doing, and you need to find something else that's gonna make you happy. That's
no
hands
truer
down.
words.
Yeah. So quick, few things before we shut her down. Let me see. Let me check the clock here. Um, yeah, Jeff. I think real quick we have a quick discussion about a fourth monitor, so I'll let Jeff take over.
Yeah, we haven't talked about them on the show, and it comes up on the Facebook groups and on Reddit every now and again about the need for fourth monitors. And I would love to move out of the way and you can see my rig, back in my house in Hawaii that has the fourth monitor. But for those that don't know, the fourth monitor is, your traditional triple screens, but the monitor that's mounted above the center one, usually at like a 45-degree angle. And I think we just have Jason, let's have just this discussion over what do you use it for? Is it needed? Does it help you? Just kind of give people some advice on types of monitors that are ideal for that fourth monitor over the top. So I'm just going to start off with a little bit of data here. This is not at all, these are super just nice to have pieces of equipment that help you with racing. For me, I usually use my fourth monitor is my desktop for just your traditional desktop. I have my icons up there. I usually have SimLab, the Cubic app, or excuse me, SimHub, Cubic app app up there. So my belt tensioner, and usually just launch the games from the Sims from up there, and then they just start on the triple screens. Once I'm in a race, I usually have Lovely Dash, or some type of data. Um,
We got to get you onto the new DNR stuff, bro.
DNR. Yeah, I haven't been home in a while, so I
It's
need to get. You're
free.
right. I do need to get on that. That
Free right now.
looks
By the way, guys,
killer.
check out Danny Newman Racing. His new pit crew, I think it's called Pit. Yeah, Pit. I gotta look it up. It's called Pit something. I can't believe
Just Google
he's gonna
Daniel
kill
Newman
me.
Racing. You'll find it. Good
Yeah,
stuff. The dude
it's a
always
free.
produces awesome stuff.
Yeah, it's a free. I can't believe it. I'll put it
Oh,
on the.
I
I'll put it in the description. Somebody grill me. Somebody correct me in the comments about what it is. I'm not even gonna search for it. But yeah,
so. And another reason that these fourth monitors are nice is and especially the way I feel like I have it configured is if there's something, that I need to get back to the desktop and I'm still have the triple screen set up, I don't have to, minimize that. And then it's all like it pops back up windowed a lot of times in iRacing, et cetera. So yeah, I can jump in there, click whatever I need to do, change. And then I can, just, usually click back in my triples and I'm back to doing whatever I was doing. But Jason, what do you use your fourth monitor for? How do you kind of um, have your setup for what's your use for it?
okay, so the fourth monitor, when I first started getting into sim racing, uh, you start trying a bunch of stuff, right? You start downloading all kinds of stuff, figuring out what works for you, what doesn't. Um, and I want to say that it depends if it's worth it. I want to say if it depends on what kind of racer are you, or what kind of person you are, and what kind of situation you're in. And I heard a very interesting story the other day, and it was about one of our drivers, SRC driver, and one of our recent members, Brandon. So shout out to Brandon from Canada, and he is part of the GRL. And I believe in a race, he told the group that he has his baby monitor feed on his fourth monitor to keep an eye on his kids while he's racing, which is genius.
Bro,
Genius.
bro, some of us are playing checkers, others are playing chess. That is next level.
Yeah.
That is next level.
He's watching his son or his daughter, forget, sleeping in the bed, and he's like, yo, you look up. All you got to do is look up. So, I mean, that's where we say this a lot. When there's a will, there's a freaking way. I swear to God. He was laying it on thick. When he said that, I was like, that's a great freaking excuse to get a fourth monitor to the wife.
Dude, that's awesome.
Hey, you want me to the baby? I got a camera.
It'll be my job to watch him for the next 2 hours.
I will take it a step further. I'll buy some high tech shit where you can sense the body's temperature, see if he's cold, to see if it'll track.
You get all the vitals instead of
all the vitals, the heartbeat,
all
all the data, and it's telling me the last time he woke up, the last time he moved.
The statistics over the history of kids sleeping. He's due to wake up in 20 minutes. And it's
yeah. That way you can look at your quality of time and your practice time. You're like, all right, in 20 minutes, I'll get off the rig and check on my son or whatever. Yeah, brilliant. That was the best one I've heard. Now, the way I use it is I'm a streamer, so that is homed to my stream. When I'm streaming, everything happens up here, and I can monitor what you see, the chat, and make sure that the stream's healthy. That way, I'm not just blindly streaming. And yes, are there alternatives? There's going to be that guy in the comments. Alt tab, and you can tab out to another
100%.
window. You can do that. However, that breaks immersion. That breaks the immersion of being inside of a car. So I like having things on the top where if I want to watch the F1 practice,
I've seen you do that. Yeah.
Yeah, you could put a practice race up there and actually do run laps. You're listening to the practice. Practice doesn't really need full attention. You just need to hear and know what's going on with the drivers, and to kind of see where they're at, if you catch it right in time. So I would say monitors are fairly cheap for our hobby. You can get a 27-inch monitor for 200 bucks, 150, and that's brand new. You can go to
Please
used market,
don't
100,
need a
bucks,
4K
50 bucks.
monitor
Yeah, you
for your
don't need
fourth
all that.
monitor.
You
You
don't
don't need it.
no, you don't need all that. This is a state of the art downstairs, but up here, this is a regular ass freaking monitor. There ain't no
Regular
OLED
ass
up there.
You were telling me that when I was thinking about getting it, and we were talking about, you're like, and I was like, could you deal without it? And you were like, no. And I was like, that's bullshit. You could deal without it. And then, fast forward a couple months, and I install one. Um, they're incredibly helpful, and they just make life a little easier, I guess is the best way to say it. And I've been using VR a lot, so I can't necessarily see my telemetry and data that whatever you're using, the lovely Pitwall or the Daniel Newman equivalent.
Race control.
There you go, for the win. Race control.
Don't kill me, Danny. Love you,
we
bud.
love you, buddy.
Race
so-
control. Free, by the way. The only one that's free. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah. So it's a very much nice to have, but once you have it, it's hard to think of life not having it.
Exactly. Because the moment you think, I'm not going to need this, I'll just take this off, you're going to have a time where you wish you had it. Same with DDUs. I went through this whole DDU fiasco and ended up spending more money because I had sold mine and then went right back into it. And I was like, I looked at the DDU and I treated it like a person. And I said, you will not be sold again. I'll put you away. But you will not be sold again. And another good thing, guys, another great, for those that don't have kids, or even if you have kids, you can have the baby monitor, but if they're grown, the way I have this rig programmed is if anyone walks in front of any of my cameras, a video feed pops up there too. And I can see packages coming to the door. I can see people trying to ring the doorbell while I have a freaking Porsche screaming at the top of his lungs. And I didn't hear the damn doorbell, but I got a notification and I see, oh shit, there's something happening around the house. Let me go and check it out. That's another reason to have a monitor, because if you have it down here, it's going to block your view. It's messy, because the window might shift and it might take control. Just get the fourth monitor. If you haven't, if you're thinking about it, I would get it.
I think the easiest, probably, in conclusion, if you will say that, don't spend a shit ton of money on one. You can get into the fourth monitor for fairly cheap. I know SimLab offers the mount. There's a bunch of other companies that do as well. I just know SimLab does. And I just want to say one last thing. You do need a spare DisplayPort or HDMI. So if you're running triples, just go back there and check to make sure you got a way to send a signal to it.
Yes, correct. Make sure your video card, most of them do. Most of them have a triple DisplayPort and one HDMI. And that one HDMI is all you need. You don't need high graphics up there. You don't have to run it at a crazy refresh rate either. You can run it at a nice, decent refresh rate that is good to your eyes, because it is a static monitor. It's not going to do much. You can. Well, I wanted to show real quick, since we're talking about it. I have plans on making a video about it, but here is the Daniel Newman's race control, and it's fully modular. So that means that all these elements on the screen can be moved around and customized, and it's all free.
What'd you say? You said some F word?
Free.
Get you some of that. Yeah, we'll have to do a dedicated episode on that, because it's legit. It's nice. It's clean. It looks good. Has a shit ton of data.
Daniel Newman is stepping it up lately, and I'm really proud of him. He's delivered. He's delivered an ecosystem that has made me change over to exclusively running DNR only. And I don't know, something fell downstairs, but we'll just keep going. I'm not sure what that was. We'll figure it out as soon as we get off of here. But anyways, that's DNR, Daniel Newman Racing. Check out the links in the description or in my, my link tree, which is like I've told people that I have a link tree, and they automatically assume that I have an OnlyFans or something.
That's stupid.
I swear to God, bro. I swear to God. But
All right,
anyways,
before
yeah,
we
go
get too
ahead.
far, hey, let us know if you use your your fourth monitor for something not traditional, telemetry and stuff. Let us know what you use it for. Love to hear, the baby monitor thing. That I never in a million years thought
The
of that. So if
baby
this,
monitor is next level. So
yeah,
shout out to Brandon. And yeah, leave those in the comments or in the email if you don't feel like sharing it, everybody. We're gonna read it anyway, unless you tell me not to. Then yeah. So
we won't. We'll read it, but we won't read it on air.
there you go. So we do have a question, right, before we wrap today's episode up, and it's from John Wyant. Hope I'm reading that right. So thank you so much. And it reads, "Hi, I recently found your podcast, and I was particularly interested in the large monitor show you put out a few months ago. I am interested in going this route, but I have a few questions. My current PC setup is an AMD 9800X3D, good to go. 64 gigs of RAM. Jeff
Good
would
to
be
go.
happy with that for DCS. And an RTX 5090, which is
My man.
godly, you know. Everybody getting 5090s. I mean, I'm gonna have to join the club here soon.
Let's go.
I know. So we got 4 questions, and I'll start with the first one. What adapters or converters did you use to connect all 3 TVs to the GPU? So I guess this is aimed at me because I have TVs now. I used a DisplayPort to HDMI adapter, specifically the one from Cable Matters. Is what I'm using, and be careful with that because you lose a lot of stuff by connecting them that way. You lose G-Sync. Um, you lose, a lot of the things the TV can do. The computer is just going to read it as a generic monitor, but you have the GPU to force the power through. And as long as you can keep those frames up and steady, you should not need any of those VRR or G-Sync. That's mostly how do you say, compensate for low frame, and then it smooths it out. That's all it does. I can go over a book on what VRR is, but in essential, that's what it is. Number 2 is, what monitor stand are you using? I'll let Jeff answer this one. He uses the same one I do.
SimLab.
SimLab, and we just
Their
told
stuff's
you
the
about
shit.
SimLab. Yeah.
It's quality stuff. They got great, super adjustable VESA mounts. It's just do
The
yourself a
Vario,
favor.
right? The Vario mounts that allow the micro
Vario, yeah,
adjustments.
excuse me. I don't know what I'm talking about here.
Thank
Yes.
God
Yes.
for those things, bro, because I cannot imagine finagling a TV or a display that size, and just with a simple Allen wrench, you can make it go up, down, back,
Left,
forward.
right, backwards, forwards. Yeah, it's
By the centimeter, literally the centimeter. So
if you don't get it, you're just gonna wish you got it, and then eventually you're gonna get it, and you're gonna tell yourself you should have got it earlier. Just do yourself a favor.
Just get the Vario. Yes, highly recommend. With the Vario mounts, recommend the freestand, because freestand is gonna prepare you for motion if you want to do that, and it's a lot more flexible, right? When something's connected to the rig, it's connected to the rig, bro, and you're kind of limited on what you want to do. If you want the monitors closer, if you want them back, there's a lot of cons to it. You save a little money, but you end up paying more later. It just limits you heavily. So freestanding, highly recommend. Number 3 is, any issues with mounting the TVs to the monitor stand? No. Monitor stands use I did have to buy an adapter to get a VESA 200 by 200, which SimLab sells, and they were like $20 each, and that's all I did. I just bought an adapter, literally took this TV out of the box and screwed the adapter in, and they just went, whoop, they dropped right in. So no issues there.
What size are yours, and is that the largest you can fit on that monitor? Those monitor mounts.
That's a good question. So the my size of monitor is, or TV is 42 inches, and the maximum is 43. So at least with this model, it's 43. If you look at any other triple stand that supports those 65 or 70 inches, you're looking at $1,000
Yeah, huge step up in price for the next 2
for
inches.
the
so to
same
speak. You
shit.
could go there
All it
forever.
is
Yeah.
reinforced pro. You know, you can technically speaking, you could put 48 inches here and make them fit, but then you just need a support. You just need to get a profile and add some support so that they don't fall. You know what I mean?
Guys, put some longer feet on it, if you could say, those the ones that are on the ball that are on the ground going horizontal to the rig.
I would extra
parallel?
stanchion, an extra stanchion. Like, you know, you have the 2 feet like they go like that, and then the arms come out this way. I
Mhm.
would just add a stanchion, a vertical stanchion on the edge here and on the edge here to stabilize it.
Yeah,
to-
100%.
So what I did with these is the weight is fine on these. But what I did was to stabilize it even further, I literally mounted my PC to the monitor stand in the center. So it literally has 40 pounds of weight in the center, keeping the center load leaning backwards. And the TVs are mounted on the stand, so that adds weight to the, forwards. So you kind of distribute the weight evenly.
Balanced well.
Yes, you balance the weight. Exactly. The last questions. Do you have, by chance, have the link to the custom bezel kit you mentioned on the sourced that you sourced from Etsy? Yes, I will send you that. No problem. And that's it. Thank you again, and look forward to listening, watching your other episodes. Happy Thanksgiving, John. So thank you, John. Happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate you. And yeah, that's literally it, man. Just use what works for you. Not a single issue with my rig. I've had it for almost 5 years now, and I don't see myself upgrading it ever. I don't think, other than buying a new one if I wanted to do what Jeff's doing and build a second rig, but I have no reason to do so. Unless I get into the flight thing, but I don't know.
It's a killer rig you got there, buddy.
Too
I've
many.
been in it. Yeah, it's super
Bro,
nice.
thank you. You have God tier setup too, man. Especially
getting
that
there.
PC. Oof.
We're getting there.
You got there. There's no getting nowhere. You got there.
It's a process, right?
No, yeah, of course. I mean, I respect it because you didn't buy this to flex. You buy this because you actually needed the hardware, and you realized that you needed a little more oomph for some VR stuff. And that's justifiable.
I jumped in TCS and just cranked it up to ultra everything.
There's people that
And
buy
it was
5090s and 4090s and 5090s, and they play Fortnite on a single monitor.
At 350 frames per second.
At 400 frames, that the monitor can't display 400, but we're playing at 400.
Yeah, so
With screens, we'll take a picture and say 400 frames that you can't see, and the monitor is not. There's free frames. I've said it. This is flowing frames.
you get some frames.
Everybody
gets
some
you
frames.
get some frames.
So here we go with
Anyways,
it's frames from heaven. So yeah, I think that's it for this week, Jeff. If you got anything else, I mean, that's.
Nah, fam. Just Spence, we got just
I
went
said
through
short
Thanksgiving.
episode, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right. We just went through Thanksgiving. We got Christmas on the horizon here, so make sure you spend time with the family, get in the rig, and drive fast and brake late.
Yeah, man, and push, but chill.
But
Gotta
chill.
say it. Push but chill.
I like
That is a new slogan. We even got some logos being made. I'll share those in the next episode. But yeah, stay tuned for more. And guys, please like and subscribe if you like this content. If you're finding it, I would really like our numbers to go up. If you are on just an Avid audio listener only on Spotify or whatever it is, or Apple, podcast apps, just do us a favor, like the video and subscribe. So, and with that, guys, thanks again, Jeff, for making this happen at the last minute. And to all you viewers and listeners out there, have a great start of your week. Thank you.